There's a little bit of debate here and issues between local talents and developers, and I want to touch on that because you have been exposed to maybe different type of developers, and you've seen that.
Yes.
For most of non-technical founder, the approach would be either hiring a firm, a software development company, if they don't have any fund for that matter of fact. The best option or the best route would be working with freelancers or one developer or whatsoever.
Yes.
You experienced working with local devs and building a team internally. How did it go?
So I might sound a bit controversial here, and my intention here is to not create any debate. It's just my experience, okay? Even before Simplify, there was a project I tried doing. I tried building, again, another app which is coming soon again, but at that time, I couldn't finish it. I tried the journey. Very briefly. I tried a local dev. The guy who did my first website for the Cassian team, they said they do development. I tried that. And then I later tried outsourcing. Through Fiverr, I had a guy in India doing something for me. We, as a local community of professionals, I don't think most of us know the level of commitment and consistency needed to gain trust of a non-technical person like me. I struggled. I really did struggle getting a good, committed local developer to work with me. The issue is that many people would say that, oh, well, you're not paying enough. Maybe you are the ones who are not paying. You don't respect us. You don't respect our time. I am also a service provider in the accounting world. So it's the same parallel, and I understand how a service provider should act. And maybe I was meeting the wrong people, but I tried 4 or 5 people, and you talk about the project, some are not passionate. Some feel like it's beneath them. Some feel that, the budget is small, you offer shares. Yanis is a shareholder in Simplify because I could not afford to pay him, but he bought the vision. And I would like to believe he's happy he made that decision. But some would not accept that offer then. So we have a culture, especially as young startup founders, young service providers, the developers, even lawyers, accountants, we have a similar culture over there where we might not be ready to buy the vision. It's no one's fault. Sometimes you need someone to be able to give you the check. So all I'm trying to say is that I'm hoping with time, as the community grows and as the pool of talent grows, then founders have more option locally to hire people. I've had situations where we start a project, but it wouldn't be delivered and people don't pick up their phone calls, just purely unprofessionalism as well. That is what forced me to also go overseas and stay there for 2-3 years. Now, I had to try that again, not because of financial reasons. As I said, it was mostly because of time, and the product itself was not doing what I wanted it to do. So I used a different approach when I was doing local again. I chose to not go with experienced people. Because I had Yanes and I already had the momentum of other developers, I chose people who were straight from university. So Ernest. I remember Ernest. Ernest will tell you. Ernest is our first local developer here. I remember the first interview, I told him I don't trust local developers, and he reminds me every day, Baraka, you said you don't trust local developers, but because I'd been burnt so many times. And then he introduced me to a community of people who are serious, who want to grow, who want to learn, and who have the skills as well. So that renewed my faith in it. But then there, unfortunately, are still so many stories, even from big corporates, of developers who are over-promising and delivering. But I'm also happy to see that there are stories of developers who are doing really well, and they can show that this area can have reliable professional people. So again, it's my perspective, and not being in that community, I might have met the wrong people at the wrong time, but I'm very optimistic about it. And we actually, as Simplify, we do support local developer groups now. We sponsor a few events because we hope to be part of the change, to increase the talent pool. Outsourcing, I can talk briefly about it. Outsourcing is good for MVP level. If you want to build an MVP, you can outsource it. But if you want to build a product, not a feature, a product, you need to put in the time as a founder to build the talent locally, and also be willing to share some of that equity as well, locally, non-locally, to share it, to let them put their skin in the game as well. I also think as founders, we do not appreciate incentives like share schemes. So that's something we're introducing in Simplify, equity schemes for our employees, to show that, look, we're in this together, and we hope that even though we may not be able to compensate you to show your value, but we can compensate you in terms of you owning what you're building with us.